Man, yo, bro, I'm in checking out this video on the brother righteous perspective, righteous conservative perspective, and this is an amazing video. Like, this is crazy. These people are really. Remember when I was telling y'all you get what you vote for? Now New York is dealing with that same thing, that you get what you vote for. Chicago just lost the Bears. Now New York is about to go up in property tax because they took it upon themselves to vote in or sit out an election that they shouldn't have. So let's get it. Let's talk about it.
New York, they not having a good day today. Their free grocery store is closed after 3 days. Y'all better check on y'all people in New York. They not having a good day today. Their free grocery store is closed after 3 days.
Their free grocery store is closed after 3 days. He alleged that he was going to give free everything. Free bus rides, free grocery store, freeze on rent. This is what I was just talking about. The same thing that happened in Chicago is happening in New York. We're going to own nothing and we're going to enjoy it, like they said.
Clear pop-up shop, so that's not going to be. Y'all better check on y'all people in New York. They not having a good day today. Their free grocery store is closed after 3 days. Basically a pop-up shop, so that's not going to be free. The free buses are actually $3 now, so that actually went up. And now Mamdani, whatever you call him, is trying to twist Hochul's arm and saying, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to tax the people. And their property taxes is going to go up. Hochul not going to bend. So guess what? Y'all property taxes are about to go up, and y'all voted for that. Y'all voted for what y'all thought was going to be some free, which was impossible. We tried to tell you it wasn't going to happen. You voted for it anyway. So now I don't feel so bad about Chicago having to deal with the that we deal with because it's been voted on constantly. Because now New York doing it too. Y'all got the biggest fucking city. Oh my God, New York, what are y'all doing? Why would y'all do that? I heard the city smell like too. They're not even picking up the trash. They're not doing nothing to y'all great city of New York. We need to send all the immigrants there and just send them all to New York and have them in New York or Minnesota and let everybody else live freely, immigrant free. And y'all go up there and just do what y'all gonna do to try to dig y'all asses out of this hole that y'all to put yourselves in with y'all vote. How's that 5 a.m. call to prayer? How's that going? How many times do y'all gotta do that? Ooh, that'll drive me nuts,
baby. We don't want to be the football in whatever political games you guys are playing. Keep your hands off our houses. Keep your hands off our community. My name is Austin Bryan, resident of Southeast Queens. Thank you, Brother James.
The mayor, with the greatest respect, in every campaign speech, in every debate where you engage, we opened our ears to listen. Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
Having only two options. You're saying if we don't tax the rich, then I got to.
We always want to vote for something or don't vote for something and then get out here and yell in the middle of the street. Like, how many times you going to get tricked? We always want to vote for something or don't vote for something and then go out, yell in the middle of the street. Everybody that try to tell you stop voting for people that you think you like, vote policy. They don't vote policy. They vote who they like. And then they go end up screaming and cursing in the middle of the street. Vote policy. Jesus.
Increase property taxes. We are not a pawn in Southeast Queens. We are not part of your negotiation tactics. Here's on Mamdani. You are out here.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today. We talked about this on the live stream today. We got to talk about it some more because the people in New York City are frustrated. They're fed. Those came out with a vote. Several consequences. In the comments, in the property, it's the tax full-fledged in New York can do. On the channel,
things in emotion from compassion.
Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. There's more.
Every single socialist policy starts as compassion, but it really ends with confiscation. How did the left sell this to us? Well, they dangled free things and emotion in front of us. You just saw Mamdani say it. They said free buses, free healthcare, free childcare, and immediately Gen Z ran towards that. But the problem is this is the result of us being raised and indoctrinated to hate America. So the result of this is not having love and patriotism, but wanting to end this whole idea of capitalism that's got us here for 250 years. What do we do going forward? Do we continue to just scream on social media? No. What we have to do is go back to education. Instead of indoctrination in the schools, talking to Gen Z about real world examples of how socialism has failed every single time it's been tried. Maybe instead of gender pronouns being taught in our history classes in schools, maybe we actually teach about the horrors of socialism.
Absolutely. The horrors of socialism.
They need to teach taxes in school, teach how money works, so you'll know that you're not just going to be able to give everybody free stuff. They're running on, we're going to give you stuff. We're going to give you free everything. And that's how they trick them. We cannot afford, somebody's paying for it. It ain't nothing free. So you're going to have one side saying, we don't want to pay for you. So they're going to make that seem racist, which nobody wants to pay for you. And then they're going to have the other side screaming about how we need to have equality. So it's a crazy game that they're running. You got to be able to work for stuff.
He was one of the guys that had a chance, and he tried to warn people. Folks wouldn't listen. He tried to warn them.
So what is my biggest fear if Zohar Mamdani should win? Well, clearly, we're already in a fiscal mess, not because of Zohar Mamdani. Both state, federal dollars are being withheld for us with Eric Adams as the mayor. And I've looked at the budget of the city that Eric Adams set up, his re-election budget, and he's spending money that we don't have. I don't think Zohar Mamdani is going to be able to have the discipline to then turn to everybody who voted for him and said, you know, universal child care, I'm going to have to put that up on the shelf. Free buses, I'm going to have to put that up on the shelf for now. He's made a lot of promises of free, but that's more fantasy than reality. So I think reality will hit quick, and I don't think he'll have a remedy to be able to explain it and keep us out of the fiscal abyss.
Yeah, he was right. He was 100% spot on. New York City sits at a $5 billion deficit right now. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they've spent so much money taking care of these illegal immigrants that shouldn't be here. They've spent so much money on this, and they're now in a deficit that is going to be very difficult to get out of. And I don't know if Mamdani knew it or not, but I know he was advocating for these illegal immigrants. He gets in office and he realizes, whoa, we have no money. The crazy thing is they did announce this free childcare thing. How you got a $5 billion deficit and you're talking about adding new agendas? It makes absolutely no sense. But I want you guys to see some of the other things.
So they was in a $5 million deficit saying we're going to give you free childcare, and nobody stopped to ask, hey, how are you going to give us this free childcare? Everybody just think that life is free. No one asks, how are you going to be able to afford this? Golly.
Things that they're adding while they're also telling people, by the way, we're about to tax y'all 10% if Governor Hochul don't tax all of the wealthy folks in the state.
Racial equity, 4.6 million commission on racial equity, 835,000 commission on gender equity, 260,000 for Department of Education Chief Diversity Officer, 301,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. There's a title for you, and 118,000 for an FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. Is that necessary stuff? You can't cut that back?
And a list of things to do when it comes to public safety, absolutely not. Public safety's got to be in the top of your list. So we can't pay for everything. Everything can't be for free. But what you need is cops out in the street. Tell me how all these programs are going to help when you're getting robbed in the middle of the street.
Yeah, and
how that works.
Yeah, you tell me. Believe me, he's about to find out. Sadly, Mamdani's progressive agenda includes new budgets items like $750,000 for art and cultural fund, $800,000 for anti-ageism, $437 million for child care vouchers, LGBTQ emergency for $2 million. It goes on. And you pointed out his climate change budget. What's he spending on that?
That's insane. I want you guys to see this right here. I want to pull this up quick.
All the cops getting fired so that they can implement all these programs that haven't proven to do anything. They're going to implement all these feel-good programs for now. And we're going to see how that works. But cops are getting fired.
Look at this. They're cutting 5,000 New York police officers,
5,000 less cops in a city that they already got drill music and they already shooting people every day. 5,000 less cops. Boy, good luck to you New Yorkers, boy. Lord have mercy.
5,000 are being cut. Now listen to this. They're adding $5.6 million for the Office of Racial Equity, $4.6 million for the Commission on Racial Equity, $835,000 Commission on Gender Equity, $260,000 on Department, Department of Energy Chief Diversity Officer, or Department of Education, more or less. $301,000 on 3 FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. You need 3 of them. And another $118,000 on the Fire Department FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officer. What? Millions. The crazy thing is they're adding all these DEI positions and they're getting rid of the police. Oh man, New York City is already unsafe, but now you're basically really he's about to turn this place into Gotham City, man. He's about to turn this place into Gotham City. But this brother coming up, he says that if he was mayor, he has a plan. This is what he would do. Check this out.
So everybody keep asking me, if I was mayor, what would I do? All right, let's talk real solutions.
Hey, this dude is cold. Y'all pay attention to this brother.
First thing I'm not doing, I'm not slapping homeowners with a 9.5% property tax increase. I'm not touching nothing with the retirees, and I'm not messing with the rainy day fund. You don't punish working families before fixing government waste. New York's budget is $127 billion. Don't tell me the only option is squeezing the middle class. So fix number 1, tax the right people. If revenue is the issue, then yes, higher taxes on wealthy earners, higher corporate taxes on billion-dollar companies operating in the city. Wall Street bonuses are back. Corporate profits are up. Why are homeowners and the working class the first targets? Solution 2, freeze bureaucracy. Hiring freeze on non-essential administrative positions. No layoffs, just stop growing the bureaucracy. Let attrition reduce payroll naturally. Solution 3, migrant spending. Emergency migrant spending gets reevaluated immediately. New York City has already spent billions of dollars on this crisis. Over $4 billion in city funds in the past 2 years. Hotel contracts, emergency shelter contracts, temporary housing at premium rates. You cannot run emergency spending permanently. Federal government created a border crisis. New York taxpayers shouldn't be left holding the entire bill. We demand federal reimbursement. We cap local exposure. We transition away from hotel-based emergency spending. Solution 4, audit miscellaneous. Audit the $15 billion miscellaneous category. You know what hides in there? Consulting contracts, outside advisors, temporary programs, citywide lump sum allocations, unallocated adjustments. When government says miscellaneous, that's where you start looking first. My 5th and final solution, pause capital expansion. Pause non-essential capital expansion projects. Street redesign expansions, pedestrian plaza expansions, new bike lane build-out beyond core corridors, office redesigns, new administrative facilities. You don't expand pet projects during the fiscal crisis. You stabilize first. And let me just say this. Leadership isn't about threatening property taxes or the working class. It's about exhausting every other option first. Cut waste, tax excessive corporate profit, cap emergency spending, freeze bureaucracy. If I was mayor, New Yorkers would know their money is respected before it's collected. And I didn't have to put on a suit and tie to tell you this. But this Bed-Stuy fly clothing, though. Shout out to my brother S. King. Check him out.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That daggone jacket, Brooklyn veteran, that's fire. That's fire. Ooh, I like that. But this brother was cooking. He's absolutely right. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Hit the like button, share the videos.
Yo, it's a shame, man. How many times are people gonna have to go through this before they understand that you have to vote policy? You cannot vote who you like. You cannot vote people in just because you don't like Trump. You can't vote people in based on a party. You have to vote based on policy and policy alone. Because now these people are not being governed, they're not being run by a person, Mamdani. They're about to be ran by his policies. His policies are going to ruin that city. And guess what? There's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. So listen, man, that's my time. I just wanted to come bring that to you. Some news you can lose. News you can use. I'm talking about lose. Vote policy. Please do not be like New York and Chicago and have these type of policies that is going to drive your money base, your tax revenue, everything off the chart. So that's my time. I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone.